Ciao
Here
Fabri.
we are, guys. Ciao, Fra. How are you? How are you? How are you?
All
Ready to
good, all
be
good. Is yeah
ready
for
for
Champions
the
League.
new live stream today. Ready for Champions League. Of course, it's gonna be a big week, a big 48 hours in Champions League, but also
Yes,
transfer news as always here on the channel. So thank you for following us, guys. Remember, as always, to subscribe to the channel, to send in your questions in the comments here live in the video later. So always here with you to keep you updated on everything. I already see many questions in the chat. I will start from that, and then we go with our topics of the day.
yes.
For example, there is Nikos asking about Dusan Vlahovic and Bayern. Look, Nikos, on Dusan Vlahovic and Bayern, the last call I heard about this was around the end of October when Bayern asked about the situation for Dusan Vlahovic. Since that moment, no proposal, no official talks, and at the moment, Dusan Vlahovic is negotiating a new contract at Juventus. So let's see if they can agree on a new deal or if Dusan Vlahovic will leave on a free transfer. On Manchester City, I saw many questions on the right back, guys. As soon as I will have the name, I will let you know. Many asking about Rodri's situation. I told you guys, I will clarify the situation of Rodri in the next days. Why? Because now there is a big game, and the game is also Real Madrid, Manchester City. So I don't want to give informations like 24 hours before this sort of game. Let's see what happens in the next days. Nothing is imminent in terms of transfer, in terms of decisions, but there are situations to clarify around Rodri, and so in the next days I will tell you more as I said. Then
I will.
before going
Yes.
into the questions, just quickly, I see Jeff asking about Igor Thiago to Chelsea. Jeff, I can tell you that on Igor Thiago there are many clubs following his fantastic impact at Brentford, but at the moment still nothing really concrete. So we are not at the moment where we can say Igor Thiago is going to this or the other club. It's just about monitoring and following the player. I think he could be in the pre-list of Carlo Ancelotti for the Brazilian national team games in March. Then we will see if he will make it into the final list, but for sure he's doing very, very well.
I will start with Liverpool because it's also the first game that we have today in the Champions League, but also there are so many questions here in the chat about Liverpool, Fabri. I will start with Alexis Mac Allister. You know, there are a lot of rumors the last hours, last days around his future. So if you want to clarify, what do you know today about him?
Yeah, I think the player has been very honest in press conference and without being negative about that, because when asked about his contract, Alexis Mac Allister said, "We are not in contract talks with Liverpool, it's the reality, but we are not in a rush." He said, "I'm very happy at Liverpool," so there is no problem at the moment between Mac Allister and Liverpool. The point is that Liverpool are going step by step about the contracts. They are talking with Ibrahima Konate, but at the moment still no final agreement done. They are talking with Dominic Szoboszlai, as I reported. They extended the contract of Ryan Gravenberch a few days ago, new deal on important terms. And so Liverpool are going step by step on the contracts. At the moment, with Mac Allister, nothing imminent, nothing close is the reality. Mac Allister is aware about of Liverpool interest in opening negotiations in the next months, but at the moment still nothing concrete, still nothing advanced, and so that's the status of the story. Then many people asking about Manchester United and Mac Allister. There was this story around in England, I think it was in February, but as I told you already in February, at this stage I'm not aware of anything concrete into it. Man United will sign midfielders, but at the moment the situation with Mac Allister is still quiet, and remember that he's under contract until 2028 at Liverpool, so when he says I'm not in a rush, we are not in a rush, he's also reality that at some point they will talk, but it's not something urgent for both sides.
Lots of questions on Manchester United winger situation, and then we can also link that maybe to the future of Marcus Rashford, because that will be also key for Man United in the summer. You know, knowing what's going to happen with Marcus Rashford. We know the deal with Barcelona, the buy option that there is in the contract already. So, what's the situation about him, and also how that can change also the future of Man United in the summer?
Look, the point on Rashford is that personal terms, again, are almost agreed between Rashford and Barcelona. Now, as I always mentioned, with the elections at Barcelona, nothing is going to happen this month in terms of club-to-club negotiations, Barcelona, Man United. So we have to wait for those stages where Barcelona can go and actually reach an agreement with Man United. What I can tell you today, to answer the questions, is that if Barcelona don't pay the 30 million euros, the message from Man United is perfect. The player is coming back here, and for sure we will have plenty of clubs interested in signing Rashford after he did very well at Barcelona. So Man United feel very relaxed. Or Barcelona pay the 30 million euros, or they're prepared to sell the player eventually elsewhere in the summer. From Barcelona, they are also quite relaxed because they have an agreement with Rashford. The contract is almost ready. Then financially, they have to see the timing also of the negotiation with Manchester United to reach an agreement on the final fee. But from Man United, they have no intention to negotiate. So I think it's a quite clear situation. Barca have to pay this money if they want to keep Rashford. Otherwise, the situation is going to be different in the summer. But reaching an agreement with the player is already a very important step. And so I think at the end of the day, there are very good chances to see Rashford staying at Barcelona also for the long term.
Tons of questions about Tonali, Fabri. I think we could also say that we spoke about him in the previous lives here, so you can also watch the other videos. Yeah. We will talk about him in the future. Yes.
There is nothing imminent on Tonali, to be honest. Nothing changed from what I said a few weeks and months ago. So for sure, Tonali is going to be one to watch in the summer. But as of today, there is still nothing concrete in terms of updates. In terms of midfielders, in the next days, I said about Rodri, but in the next days, we will talk about also Elliot Henderson, because there are movements around the Nottingham Forest midfielder. And so he's going to be one of the topics. But today, we have different ones.
And another topic is Cuti Romero, Fabri. So what do you say about his future?
Yeah, on Cuti Romero, I think this is an important one. Keep an eye on Cuti in the summer transfer window. Because, yes, Cuti Romero signed a new contract at Tottenham last summer, but my understanding is that some clubs, also considering the Tottenham situation, which is really complicated in the Premier League, let's see this relegation battle, how it's going to end up in the next months, but several important clubs in Europe, and not only, are calling to ask about the situation of Cuti Romero. So there is movement around Cuti Romero. I think it's absolutely normal. One of the best centre-backs in the world, a World Cup winner, crucial for Tottenham to win the Europa League last summer. Always, apart from the recent red cards, but the performances of Cuti Romero have always been top for Tottenham and for Argentina as well. So at the moment, the situation of Cuti Romero is one to watch, because there are several clubs calling. There is movement. 1 year ago, Atletico Madrid wanted him and was not possible to proceed. I think there is going to be plenty of clubs interested in Cuti Romero. So could be one of the big names to follow in this summer transfer window. Again, let's see what happens with Tottenham, because obviously one thing is Tottenham staying in the Premier League. One thing is Tottenham in Championship, obviously, in terms of valuation of the player, in terms of financial situation. But we will see what's going to happen with this one. On Bradley, asking about we want Liverpool and wingers, Fabrizio. My friend, as soon as I have something concrete, I'm here and I will tell you. At the moment, I can tell you in the next days, I will tell you more on several things. But remember, it's March. It's not July or August. So I don't want to come here and invent stories. For sure, Liverpool will do something on the wingers. For sure, 100% this summer. But at the moment, let's go step by step.
Going step by step, last step for today is live here on YouTube. Fabri, let's speak about Nwaneri. What do you think is going to happen in the summer?
Yeah, for Nwaneri is not an easy situation now at present, because obviously he went to Olympique Marseille with the expectation to work under Roberto De Zerbi, and then De Zerbi decided to leave Marseille. Yeah. So it's a completely different situation. Also, the expectation was for Marseille to continue their Champions League campaign, and then they got eliminated in the final minutes of the final game. So obviously, it's been different compared to the expectations for Nwaneri. But at the moment, I can guarantee that Arsenal maintain full confidence in the player. So Arsenal are waiting for him to complete the season at Olympique Marseille for this final 10, 11 games, and then come back to the club, come back to Arsenal. They believe in Nwaneri 100%. So the message from Arsenal is still optimistic. In the summer, they will speak to the player to understand what's the best situation for him, whether it's staying at Arsenal or maybe going on loan somewhere else. So they will assess all the options with the player, but Arsenal maintain full trust in Nwaneri. Even if they understand it's been an unlucky loan so far at Olympique Marseille, they believe in the player, they trust the player, they trust his potential, and so nothing has changed in terms of long-term plans.
Fabri, I don't know if you have other things to say, otherwise,
yeah.
yes?
Yeah, I will go with the final one because I saw many
Go on.
questions in the chat about this one. Is true or is not true that Xabi Alonso has agreed already a 3-year contract with Liverpool? At the moment, there is nothing done, agreed, in talks, advanced between Xabi Alonso and Liverpool. I can guarantee that nothing has been decided. At the end of the season, Liverpool will have an internal review involving players, managers, and all people at the club. So there is going to be an internal conversation to review the season. But at the moment, nothing is decided, nothing is agreed with Xabi Alonso. There is an appreciation, of course, former Liverpool player, top coach. So for sure, between Xabi Alonso and Liverpool, the feelings are so positive. But nothing at all has been agreed as of today.
Okay, Fabrizio, I think this is it, and we can talk later, tomorrow, in the next days for sure. It's going to be an exciting Champions League week, so we'll be back here in the channel as always.
Thank you, guys. Thank you as always, and see you soon here on our channel. Ciao, ciao. Thank you.